This is Pat. Welcome to my channel, Crafty Pat, where I talk about all things crafty. Right now, I'm in a mood to do a lot of knitting, but I'm also doing some crochet. So I wanted to give a quick update on a few things, one finish and a few things I'm working on. First of all, though, I want to say welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this morning I was watching Sheila of Sheila's Knitting Tips and Other Stuff, and she did a shout out for me, and I'm so grateful, Sheila. Thank you so much for that. I enjoy watching Sheila. She posts almost every day, and she also has a channel for just crochet, and she has another channel that's just knitting tips and tutorials. So she's in the UK, and I enjoy watching her. And I am located in the southeast part of the United States. So I've been knitting for less than a year. I've been crocheting about 10 years. I always loved crafts as a kid. Learned to sew when I was a young teen. Did arts and crafts paintings. These were done a few years ago. Acrylic paintings. I just enjoy crafts, and I quilted for a number of years. And about 10 years ago, I started loom knitting. And then a couple of years after that, I started the crochet. And then last year I decided I want to learn to knit with needles. So I did. But first up today is crochet. And I'm so happy. This is Ada Lovelace. It's kind of a messy bun. We're doing the best we can with our hair today. She is crocheted. She comes from this book, More Crocheted Iconic Women. 15 incredible women who changed the world. You may recognize, sorry about that, bumped the table. There's Grace Hopper is up next. Ada Lovelace is considered the first computer programmer. Great, and she lived in the early 1800s. Grace Hopper lived in the 1900s and was instrumental in developing more human type or English type computer languages. I spent my career in IT, so Grace Hopper was a legend in the 80s. But you can see they also have, there's Ada, and there's Dolly Parton, Anne Frank, Queen Elizabeth I, Mary Shelley, I can't remember her name, Copeland is her last name. These are really, Josephine Baker is here. So these are crocheted. The yarn I used is Circulo Amigurumi, my local yarn shop. The Square Knot over in McDonough carries this. It is 100% cotton. You'll see some bands that say this is a number 2 and some will say a 3. But they should say amigurumi on them. And they have other weights of yarn too that are cotton. This cotton is made in, I believe, Brazil. Is that right? Yes, it's made in Brazil. It's you get a big ball of it for. Oops, but obviously I can make a lot of different things with this. It's easy to work with. It doesn't split. It works up really well. But this book, yeah, you can see it says More Crochet Iconic Women, because her first book was Crochet Iconic Women. Carla Mitrani. There's Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Queen Elizabeth II, Cleopatra. I think one of them has Harriet Tubman. There's Jane Goodall. So in total, there are 13 of these women that you can crochet. And they're just really fun. And the instructions are really good. The book she has in the back, technique, she gives you tips, really good photographs about how to finish things off, how to do their arms, how to sew the arms on. I highly recommend these. She has a few little problems. She's a little wonky. One arm's a little longer than the other, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't think she minds too much. You knit them from their feet up, and their clothing does not come off. It is part of their body. I did have a problem with her neck was a little wobbly, so didn't realize that till after I closed her up. I found this at the dollar store, these little 3-inch skewers, food skewers, and I kind of stuffed some up in her neck through this part of her, and through her back, and then clipped them off, and that has made her head sturdier. One of the ladies at the yarn store recommended getting little, I think they're silicone hair curlers that bend. And she said she gets them at the dollar store. They weren't at the dollar store I went to, but she said put those in there as you're stuffing her with polyfill. And I was really surprised she does stand up. I think you can see in my hand. She's actually standing up. I think it's the skirt that's helping her stand up, not her feet. I'm a little concerned with some of them that have a shorter skirt. I don't know if they're going to stand up. I may have to get some doll stands for them. But I'm so happy with her. She has a little rosette. And yeah, it's all single stitches. I need to do something about this. I think I've tried to move things around. I don't know if I overstuffed her or I didn't do the crochet quite tight enough for her body. But it's Ada Lovelace, the woman who realized that Charles Babbage's analytical machine could do more than just calculate numbers. That's what he had it for. She went, hey, we can do more of this. So I think we all owe her a lot. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. Then knitting, on this hat, found this pattern, Free on Ravelry, I do believe. 2x2 by Angie. It's worsted weight. Sorry about the color changes every time I hold something up. It's worsted weight. It's a 2x2 ribbing. The whole hat is. I had bought this yarn with the intention of making a hat for someone particular, but then after I talked to them, they were like, well, they want a particular texture in a hat, and they don't live near me and they can't touch the yarn. And I'm afraid this would be a little not to their liking. But it's Plymouth Yarn Encore Tweed. The color is T520. And I'm using the called for US 6 4mm needles. I used a circular. I've still got a little bit more to finish, and then even the decreasing is in 2x2 rib, as you can see. It's well written pattern. It's free, and I mean it's kind of almost mindless. I can do that while watching TV, and it's going on pretty quickly. And I'm not. I want to finish this soon. This is it's a rough yarn. I say rough. It's not like I wouldn't want it next to skin. So I don't think this would be great for a hat for someone who is bald or has really thin. I'm not sure I would like it as a scarf. I think, because I don't think I want it up against my neck. It's a little rough. It's tweedy, but it's a good sturdy yarn. It's acrylic, 75% acrylic, 22% wool, and 3% rayon, 200 yards. And it was very affordable. Bought it at a yarn store in Waynesville, North Carolina. The Tangled Dragonfly, if you're ever in Waynesville, which is between Cherokee and Asheville. Drop by the Tangled Dragonfly. They have some really nice yarns as well. Which this one's nice, and it's very affordable. And they had different colors, and there were probably some that weren't tweed that were in that same price range or from that same manufacturer. The other thing I've been working on is some socks. I need to come back in and put the heel in. The toe and the heel is done with 100% acrylic. I don't think I have the information in that right here what acrylic it is. The main part of the sock is Premier Yarns, Deborah Norville. This sock yarn is a few years old. It's at least 10 years old, maybe old. The colorway is Chili. It's Deborah Norville Serenity sock weight, which is 50% Superwash Merino, 25% bamboo, 25% nylon. And it works out pretty well. And I have another pair of socks I've made out of the same yarn. Here's the second sock. I'm doing toe up. I do the Turkish cast on. I've tried, is it Judy's Magic cast on? And I struggle with that. But I have found I've gotten pretty good at the Turkish cast on using 2 circulars to get it going. And then once I get up into the toe pretty good, I switch over to the shorties. This is a set from Chalgu and these are 1 needles, US 1. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's a good travel project because it's just a vanilla sock. And then as I got close to the top, I just did ribbing. And I wanted to try to get 2 socks out of 150-gram ball of yarn. So I had divided my yarn up into 2 balls. And as I got near the end, so I cast off. As you can see, they are not twins, which that's okay. Because I started to do this when I was like, I can make it where it starts at the same color, but I don't know if I'll have enough yarn. And also, if I want socks to match exactly, I could store. And not that I don't think anybody's looking at my socks that closely. But that'll kind of remind me, hey, I made these and they're fine. So I'm getting somewhat close to a few inches for the heel. These are a good travel project because I can just put them even in my purse. And if I'm carrying a large purse. The last thing I'm working on is get the pattern out here first. It's a new pattern by Pearl Soho. Came out in March, and it was free. I assume it still is. The Pearl Soho Hickory Shawl. You can see a couple of the patterns there. There were different stitches in each section of the shawl. It's triangle shape, and you start at one corner and you work across doing your increases till you get to the center, and then you start your decreases and start repeating the texture. So on this end, you have this texture, and on that end, you have this texture, and there's 1 or 2 other textures in between. It's a well-written pattern, of course, from Pearl Soho. The yarn I'm using is from Yarn Citizen. I believe this has been discontinued. My local yarn shop had gotten some in, so I bought enough. Well, I bought more than enough for a shawl. It's Harmony DK in the colorway Honeycomb from Yarn Citizen. So if you can find some, I highly recommend it. Here's the color. Let's see if I can hold this up. I'm a little over halfway through, and there went my ball of yarn across the floor. I'm a little over halfway through. You can see there's different textures. And I think the color's showing up here. It's a little darker than what it's showing on the screen. Maybe like that. That's the color. And you can see there's different textures to it. This is probably, I won't say it's a complicated pattern. It's the most complicated pattern I have followed so far. It's really, I do recommend you print it off, or if you have a way to do it on your tablet, because it's 20 pages or something. Because some of these sections, every row has a different set of instructions. It's not a repeat just because of the size of the rows and where you place your marker. But I'm enjoying it. And I should be, I am not rushing through it. I don't know when it's going to be done. It's August 2nd today. And, you know, it's August 2nd. It's August in the South. It's still hot. We'll be hot until, but I'm happy to get it started and to get so far on it. And it's not completely mindless. I tried to kind of in a social setting and that didn't work well. And even sometimes I've turned if I'm watching TV, I have to turn it off if I'm working on this because you do have to read the pattern. Once you get kind of deep, you know, like halfway through one section, you might catch on. Still, I'm constantly checking. And it comes with written instructions as well as charts in the pattern. I haven't really learned to read the chart yet, so, and the charts show you the pattern repeat that you're doing. One section is a 16 stitch repeat, 6 stitch, 8 stitch. So there's a chevron, there's a diagonal chevron, a chevron seed, chevron rib, and garter chevron. And yeah, so you've got all of those different, you've got those four, like I said, you're increasing on one side and then you're decreasing on the other. And this is a DK weight yarn. And the needles are US 6. These are Luca, or some people say Likey, Lykke, interchangeables. I need to tighten that one down. It's gotten loose. I do like these. These are, I believe they're bamboo. I can't remember now what they're made of. They're wooden of some sort of natural bamboo or wood. I do like these. I bought some DPNs like this, and I don't do well with the sock weight ones because I snapped them. I got to knitting a little too hard and vigorous and snapped them. So, I also wanted to show you. I try to go to the library a lot. Please use your public library if you possibly can and support them. I checked out this book, The Knitter's Book of Knowledge by Debbie Bliss. You can see it's pretty thick. Just to see what it's like. It was published around 2015. I really like it. And I looked for a used copy online. The used copies go for more than this one was retail $29.95 10, 11 years ago. And the used copies go for more than that. But it's not a pattern book, it's a how-to book. They have these diagrams, talks about how to hold your yarn, left-handed, right-handed, as well as if you're, doing continental or not, numerous types of cast on. Some of the different stitches. Here it explains slip, slip, knit. They seem to be pretty good instructions and diagrams. There's things about cables, manipulated and pleats, how to do pleats and knitting. I'm not there yet, but I think this would be great to have on the shelf. Tuck, color knitting. It even talks about color family, color theory. Intarsia and changing colors. Embellished knitting. So they've got, how to do, I think it's called a duplicate stitch. I'll show you how to do that. But they also have some other decorative stitches. How to do beading. And I think sometimes drawn diagrams like this are better than a photograph because sometimes it's hard to tell it's what. And then they've got finishing, how to do blocking. It is over 300 pages. Here's some tips about fixing mistakes, drop stitches, how to fix a drop stitch on an edge. lifelines, unraveling for several rows. What happens with twisted stitches, or you get an extra stitch. How to shorten a knitted fabric or lengthen it, how to like add more knitting there. And I think I am going to look at getting a copy of this because, again, I think it would be a good. I've looked at the Vogue book of knitting. It's pretty good too. It's really intensive, and it also has in there about designing and a lot of different cast ons and bind offs and different things. Short row shaping. That it's good, good reference material. So again, that's the Knitter's Book of Knowledge by Debbie Bliss. And then, oh, gosh, this has been a month or so ago. I was out shopping, and in my area of the country, we have these discount stores called Ollie's. And Ollie's is like clearance stuff. If they go buy clearance items, you can find all kinds of goods. You can buy pantry food, you can find, which is in date, books, garden, homewares, and they often have pretty good price on books. And I got this one, 201 Knitting Gifts, Blocks, Projects, and Ideas. And it is written by Nicki Trench. It was published, I forgot when it was published. Let's see if I can tell that. 2010. So it's been around a little bit. But it's got, so they've just got like, it's like a stitch dictionary. So they, I guess theoretically you can make all these blocks and sew them together as a, as a sampler. Or you could make a bunch together and sew them together as a little blanket. Or you can just use the stitch in some other project. Here's some that are using different colors. Here's some that have little motifs on them. So you could use that motif on a sweater or a pocket on a cardigan or little pillows or whatever. And so it's got for the color ones, it's got charts. For these, it's got, the stitch instructions, written instructions. Here are some others. Here's how to do ripples. I haven't done anything in it yet, but there's some cute things. Oh, here's the alphabet. So you could do, you could write somebody's name across a sweater or a blanket. And then they have some projects, like a tea cozy with a little flowers knit done on it. There's a lace bed throw. Here's some baby blankets. I think this was printed in the UK because it refers to a cot blanket. Here in the US, we call this cribs, not cots. Yeah, see, there's some cute little baby motifs you could do. There's some scarf patterns. There's one that's color block. Some lace work. Oh, here's how they use the little house. They put it in a picture frame. Some little mug cozies. Using different stitches. Oh, here's a Fair Isle pillow cover. Isn't that pretty? That might be a good way to, that's a 16-inch pillow, which is 40 centimeters. That might be a good way, to practice or to try to learn Fair Isle. Water bottle covers. Oh, some little advent bags. They've got all them. They've charted out, they've charted out the numbers 1 to 24. So you can do little advent bags. Oh, these are cute. Yeah, these bees. Knitted honeybees. I think it's for a baby, a mobile, like you put over the baby's crib. But those would be fun, just hanging in the window to me. They have little pink lips. They have nursery blocks. Again, yeah, there's number charts and there's a little cupcake with beads on it. So, if you see this, I got it for $4. I think it's worth it just to get some ideas and to keep on the shelf and have some different ideas for stitch patterns. So that's all the knitting. That's pretty much all I have today. Again, I want to hold up Ada. I'm really happy about Ada. And next up, I'm going to do Grace Hopper. I had to wait to get the yarn for Grace because they were low on yarn, but they've got it back in stock and I've already bought some. So hopefully it may take me a while. I don't rush through these. Hopefully in a few weeks or a month or two, you'll see that Ada has some friends. Thanks for joining me. If you will, click like and subscribe. Leave any comments below if you have any questions about what I've worked on or any suggestions of how to do better on these, especially the stuffing. And someone did recommend use like pantyhose to put the stuffing in. And I have to go buy some because I don't wear pantyhose anymore. But I can go buy some knee-high stockings, I think, at the dollar store. And then if you look up close, you can see her stuffing, which is not a big deal, but I would like it a little less like that. That doesn't look that way. I'm starting to come down. You may need to put her hair back up, secure it a little bit. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a great day and get to enjoy some crafting. Bye.